Hey fam, Chichi here. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my YouTube filming setup and all the equipment that I use to make my videos. I have gotten a lot of comments on the quality of my videos, and I thank you for that. I didn't realize how many, tech girlies we had in the comment section. So I was like, yeah, I definitely have to put this video out for you guys. If you're new here, hey, I'm Chichi and I talk about all things lavish, but logical. So if that's your sort of thing, go ahead, subscribe, make some friends in the comment section, and follow me on Instagram and TikTok. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying I gradually worked my way up to updating my filming equipment. If you are a beginner, please do not jump out the window and buy everything that I list here today. Honestly, guys, start off with your phone. These phones are really amazing. If you want me to do a dedicated video on how you can film with your mobile phone, just drop a comment, mobile phone, and I'll see how many comments we get and we can work that out for you. But this is everything that I have. Please do not be alarmed as you report to the dance floor, okay? So the number one question is, girl, what camera are you using? And there are two types of cameras usually on the market when it comes to YouTube. It's either full frame or crop sensor. I am using the Canon EOS R, and it is a full frame mirrorless camera. I can't get into all the technicals, okay? All I know is a little lightweight because there ain't no glass in it. So that's all I could give you. And it's full frame, meaning once I hit record, what I see is what I get, versus a crop sensor camera where sometimes you'll hit the button and they'll just do a little jump scare. That means it's zooming in, and that's something to do with the sensors. Child, I'm not getting all technical. We trying to keep it really basic. But EOS R is a phenomenal camera. I really, really love it. It does the job. It is my firm belief that you can have a good camera, but you need a great lens, which leads us to lenses. Now, you definitely want to invest in a great lens because number one, they hold their value way better than an actual camera body. Cameras come out every freaking year. Lenses, not so much. So you're able to use older lenses on some of these newer bodies, depending on the ecosystem that you choose. Now, there's two types of lenses. You have zoom lenses and prime lenses. Zoom lenses, the clue is in the name. You have multiple focal lengths where you can zoom in and out, whereas prime lenses is only one focal length, and you either have to move the camera towards you or move towards the camera. I am currently using the Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter f1.8 lens. Now, if you decide to get the same camera and this lens, I just want to let you know you do have to buy an adapter piece because this particular lens is a crop sensor lens and my camera is a mirrorless lens. So they're not compatible. Also, if you are someone who wants to shoot 1080p in 60 frames per second, you won't have that option while using this lens. Just a little heads up for some of y'all who want to, steal the same setup. I actually love this lens because we are zoomed into a 35 and it looks beautiful. This is what I normally use when I am filming. But when I want to stand up and talk about a bag or something on my IKEA shelf and want to see my whole body, yada yada, I zoom out to an 18 and you get more of the field of view of my room. So that is the beauty of having a zoom lens. Now, with a prime lens, I have two of them. I have the nifty 50 millimeter f1.8 and I have the 35 f1.8. These are two very beginner friendly lenses. Again, I really love the 35 millimeter. I highly recommend this focal length because it just looks the best in my opinion. But I am going to be converting to this lens in the next couple of weeks. So the camera will be a little bit closer to me, but I'll be able to use the 60 frames per second with this. And these two lenses in particular are the RF lenses that are compatible with my R camera. But if you are somebody in the Canon ecosystem and you have EF lenses, you can buy the same adapter and be able to use your old lenses on this new camera body. You see what they did there? Now, I know you've asked some of your favorite creators, hey, what lens are you using? And if they actually do respond, they'll just say, oh, it's a 35 millimeter. Oh, it's a 50. Oh, it's a 24. But What you're not asking them is what's the f-stop. And that's the key that you guys are missing. All the lenses that I'm talking about are f1.8, but a lot of the big YouTubers are using f1.2, f1.4. That controls how blurry your background is. And the lower that number, the more money you are going to be spending. Those lenses, number one, they're professional lenses. And number two, they cost thousands of dollars. So f1.8 is a really great focal length. I get the blurry background and all is right in the world. The 35mm is my favorite focal length. I take photographs with this, I do video with this, and everything is beautiful. With a lower aperture, that also means that more light is able to hit the sensor, meaning that you don't need as many lights in order to film, which leads me to my lights. I make my videos at night, meaning that I don't have any daylight, so I need as much light as I can get. Now, is 5 lights a bit excessive? Absolutely, but hey, that's the road I traveled. All of my lights are from GVM, and I really do enjoy them because not only are they LED lights, which don't emit any heat, because child, ain't nothing worse than it being the summertime, you sweating, you trying to do your makeup, and you're just dripping. No, these lights, they stay cool, and I stay cool, so I'm not sweating in the middle of filming. Another great thing about these lights is that they're RGB lights, meaning I can turn these puppies into any color on the rainbow. Now, I don't experiment too much on it, and if you are starting out, you don't need RGB lights. I'm gonna have the links to everything that I'm using, but I'm also gonna have some alternatives, you know, some budget-friendly things, because y'all don't have to spend a bag in order to get a great production value, okay? RGB, they're cool in theory, but if you're not doing anything like magical, child, you could skip out on it. Just use white lights and you'll be good. Now, the first set of lights are the GVM 1200Ds. I use the 3-point lighting setup, meaning that I have one light right above the camera facing my face, and then I have one on either side of me, 45 degrees, lighting the sides of my face. And this is a beautiful setup, but I also have 2 lights in the back of me, and those are the 1500Ds from GVM as well, and those light up my background. The reason why I like background lights is because number one, it separates me from the background, and number two, child, y'all don't know I'm filming this video at midnight, losing all my sleep. Y'all think it's, 12 o'clock at, in the afternoon, and I'm just having a cup of tea. Y'all will never know with great lighting. I did decide to invest in 2 soft boxes for the lights on either side of me, just to soften up the light, because I did find it was a little too harsh on my skin. And with my background lights, I don't have them pointed directly at my back. I actually have it pointed towards the ceiling, and the light bounces off of the ceiling onto my shoulders, so I don't have any like harsh spots, because there was a time or two I did have it pointed to my shoulders and you would see harsh lighting spots, and I just didn't like that. So when I can turn and stuff, and you won't see any like harsh spots on my skin because I'm well lit. So I've taken a lot of time to learn lighting and learn, what works best for me. And I just really love my lighting system. I know I talked about lights and lenses and cameras, and those are all important pillars when it comes to your filming setup. But honestly, audio is kind of the most important part to me, because honey, if your audio is trash, I'm not watching it. If I hear smoke detectors in the background, it's echoey, if it's too loud or too low, I'm just tuning out, because I am someone who consumes YouTube through sound. I have a 9-to-5, so I cannot be glued to my phone watching YouTube videos. So I have to listen to a lot of my favorite creators. Now, there are 2 types of microphones. You have your shotgun mic and you have wireless microphones. I'm currently using the Deity D3 Pro shotgun mic, and it's right out of frame. Oops, here we go. It's right out of frame, but it's pointed directly to my mouth, which is great because it picks up amazing audio quality. And the closer the microphone is to my mouth, the louder and the clearer my audio is. However, if I turn away from the microphone, what happens is, because I'm not talking directly to it, it doesn't pick up great audio because it's something in between us. I'm gonna move this back out the frame. The shotgun mic is phenomenal because I have a long cord going directly into the camera, and I don't have to worry about syncing any audio and all that extra fancy stuff. It's going directly in and I ain't gotta worry about it. I also love a good wireless option. This is the DJI wireless microphone. This one has 2 wireless microphones, and look how tiny it is. I usually just clip this to my bra under my clothing, and I can get up, do anything. Hell, I can go downstairs and you guys will still hear me very, very clearly. Whereas with this shotgun mic, if I go into the hallway, you're not gonna hear me. So another reason why I actually like this wireless kit is because they come with these little adapters. So if you're filming TikToks or Reels and you have to do voiceovers, they have these adapter pieces where you can plug it directly into your phone and use these microphones to do voiceovers, which is great. I believe you could do the same thing with the Deity, but I just haven't tried it. But you have to think about what type of content that you're filming. If you're someone who's just gonna be talking to the camera, shotgun mic, go for it. But if you're someone who wants a little bit of versatility, you might be doing fashion videos, you might want to do cooking videos, but you're gonna be moving a lot, you might wanna invest in a wireless option. They have their pluses and their minuses, but that's something that you would have to decide. But audio, please invest a decent amount of money into your audio because you never know who's listening to your videos. We got to talk about accessories. Starting off with my tripod, I use a K&F concept tripod. That's what my camera sits on. It is a very heavy duty tripod. The expensive lenses are heavy, so you don't want a cheap tripod where it's going to tip over. You don't want to do that. You invested too much money. We ain't about wasting money. So this one is really, really great. It also has a feature where you can kind of do like overhead shots, which is really cool. This tripod I have 0 issues with, but my microphone is actually on a boom arm that is connected to my desk. So that eliminates the needs for any extra light stands. Child, this room is already cluttered enough. I didn't want not near one tripod just for my microphone. So having something that attaches to my desk worked out great. If you are a content creator, you need batteries, and a lot of them. I have a rule of 3. I have 1 in use, 1 charging, and 1 ready to go. That has always been my thing. So I like to have extra batteries for my camera. And I also have batteries for my lights. I forgot to mention that all of the lights that I have, as long as I have these external batteries, I can take them outside and take pictures, take videos, and they are on the go for me. Speaking of batteries, if y'all take nothing from this video, please take this bit of information because this changed the way I film. I learned very, very early in my YouTube journey to invest in a power adapter battery, specifically for your camera. This is for my old one, and I'm currently using the one for my Canon EOS R. Fam, if you don't get yourself a power adapter, you're doing it all wrong, because there is nothing worse than sitting down recording a video and you're in a good groove and then the light starts blinking red and your camera dies, and then you don't have any extra batteries on hand. So what you got to do, you got to charge up your battery. How long does that take? That takes hours to charge, one battery. If you're on a budget, you're probably only gonna have the one battery your camera came with. Get yourself one of these because this plugs into the wall, meaning you can film as many videos as your heart desires, and your camera has a recording limit, whatever that's to, that's how long you can film. This has been the best piece of equipment I have invested in my entire setup. Trust me, you will thank me now. Just leave a comment right now. Thank you, girl. Next, we're gonna talk about storage. Of course, you need a SD card to film your videos on. I use the SanDisk Extreme Pros. I typically like using either 128 gigs or 256 gigs. Now, if you are someone who shoots in 4K or a high frame rate of 60 or 120 frames per second, get yourself a 250 because those file sizes are huge. And again, you don't want your camera to stop and say, oh, you're out of memory. Again, I am a rule of 3 kind of girl. So I have one in use, one that I'm editing, and one ready to go. And I personally do not reuse my SD card until the video that I have filmed is uploaded, and then I will format my card, delete everything, and then I keep the party going. So that's actually how I use my SD cards. Also, you want to get yourself a little case because just flinging them around, these get lost very easily. I've lost 1 or 2 in my lifetime, and just having something like this is just really nice and durable. Once I finish filming my video and I transfer the footage from my SD card, I actually put it onto my solid state drive. This is also from SanDisk. It's light, it's compact, it's fast, and it's also expensive. But what this does, it eliminates having all of these huge files on my computer, because the more space you take up on your physical computer, the slower it will function. So that means your editing is going to be super long because it's trying to render files and it has nowhere to save it. Because these are expensive, I only have one. But after I am finished with a project, I then put my projects onto my external hard drive. This is from Lacy and it's phenomenal. I think this is 5 terabytes. And almost every YouTube video that I have done is on one of these hard drives. I have all of my raw footage, I have raw photos on here, and then I have the finished product. So if I ever have to reference a video and I want to put a little clip of that in, or I need a thumbnail, it's all on here. I have it all categorized. It's beautiful. I love my file setup. Surprisingly, because this is more storage and slower, this is actually less expensive than my solid state drive. The better the quality I do, the larger the file size. Just letting y'all know. If y'all want to know my settings for everything, let me know in the comment section. Comment settings, please, and I'll make another video because it's a lot. I have invested in ND filters. Now, what are ND filters? These are basically the sunglasses for your lenses. Let's say you are someone who shoots outside. Maybe you vlog, maybe you just take pictures and it's bright outside, but you cannot lower your ISO any lower to make it, you know, normal. Basically, what this does, hopefully you can see it on camera. Basically, this is a variable ND filter, and you see how it lightens? When it's super bright outside, you can just throw in the sunglasses and you don't have to lose the quality of your videos or your photos. These are also by K&F Concept. I do have multiple sizes. I have, you know, smaller ones. This is a ND32 to a ND2. I don't know what that all means. I know it means neutral density. Boom. I did the research so you don't have to. Now, if you watch tech videos like I watch tech videos, they have said buy the biggest filter for your biggest lens. So every lens has something called a thread size and it'll be noted on your lens. My Sigma lens has this huge thread size in my 35. Clearly it don't meet up. So what you want to invest in are step up rings. And if you're on a budget, this is great. I think this was like less than $10. They just screw on like this. So you take my 35mm lens, for instance, screw this on like so. And then you can use the biggest thread size. And basically it steps up all the way to this particular thread size. Isn't that kind of cool? So this is actually great when you want to save some money and only purchase one ND filter. What I will say, you gotta be careful, because I definitely got one of these rings stuck and I could not get it off for the life of me. I had to take a screwdriver and place like a rubber sheet in between the screwdriver just to get the ring off. So that's the only drawback I have seen with these step-up rings. But for the most part, if you're trying to save money, these are a phenomenal thing to invest in. Speaking of investment, and it doesn't seem like this is a like major thing, but get yourself some lens wipes. If you are about to shoot, you always want to make sure that your lens is clean. You cannot remove lint from post. They're pre-moistened. You can use a regular like cleaning cloth or whatever. I just like everything to be clean. I throw some of these in my camera bag and I'm good to go. If you got glasses, child, you can use it on that too. I edit my videos on a MacBook Pro. I believe this is the 2020 edition. It's right here. And I also use it as a monitor to see myself in the camera. So I'm not looking through the little viewfinder. Child, my eyes are bad. I can't be doing all that. So I just use the EOS utility and I link it to the computer and I'm able to see myself, and I'm also able to make the adjustments to my settings. I also edit using Final Cut Pro. This is a very expensive editing software. Don't sleep on iMovie. Don't be like, oh, I just need to go get Final Cut because everyone's using Final Cut. That is a beast. It is a lot to learn. So the more you learn with a free software like iMovie, the better you will set yourself up to learn Final Cut Pro. Please learn some of the shortcuts. Some of my creators, I know y'all watching right now. If you're editing your videos in real time, hit the L button. It's going to double time it so you can actually watch it quicker. Thank me later. Thank me later. Thank me later. That's one of my favorites. As far as my background music, I used a subscription service called Artlist.io. I absolutely love them. With a lot of the other subscription services, if you cancel, you can no longer use that music going forward. Whereas Artlist, I own that. So I could use it as many times as I want until they change whatever legalities. But for right now, I'd rather pay a little bit more and never have to worry about a copyright strike in any of my videos versus if I happen to forget this song was a part of another subscription service and I can't nope. I don't want those types of trouble. And then when I take my thumbnails, I edit it in Canva. I use the Pro Edition because I like to use the background erasers. Whenever y'all see me putting up, you know, the products of perfumes and things like that, I take the background out and it just floats right here on the screen. And of course I edit my thumbnail on Canva as well. Everything that I have mentioned and even certain things I haven't mentioned will be linked in my Amazon storefront. I will get a little bit of money if you decide to buy something. I will also have links to things that are comparable in price, a little bit more affordable if you are starting out. I hope this video helped you guys. Check out some of my other videos and I will catch you in the next one. Bye guys.